DUNU DK-4001 are undoubtedly nice earphones. I personally cannot call them ideal, as instead of nerf in air on medium frequencies, it'd be great to see nerfed price tag, because 900 bucks. But recently miracle happens and DUNU releases DK-3001 Pro. Welcome to Tech Fellas, my name is Bogdan and let's get into details of those earphones. Despite the name, the new model looks almost identical to 4001, but faceplates are kinda similar to 3001. Personally, I'm glad about this because I fancy the ergonomics of its body. Now, comparing with DK-4001, the new earbuds are made with a bit less care. You can find flaws in finishing of steel parts and traces of casting, but if it's not the first world problem for you, most likely you will not even notice these things. Let's speak about the fit. Due to a large number of ear tips from the box, DK-3001 Pro will find a perfect grip in anyone's ear. There are branded foam tips and a bunch of spin fits. I was surprised by spacers inside that presumably prevent tips from sliding deeper in the nozzle. The cable in this model is surely from a lower grade than the one we saw in 4001. Gladly connector is the same with a number of snap changeable plugs. Some of you probably know that we've got lots of different sources of music and such package is a godsend to me, but if you're an average music lover, surely you won't change headphone jacks that often.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Connectors on the other side are obviously with a catch holding MMCX. Their fit in plugs is stiffer than in a nutshell, and thanks to the system on the other side, there is no need to unplug these bonds all the time. That makes both socket and the plug long-lasting. I think it's almost time to jump into an audiophile madness. The major of the sound in DK-3001 Pro is produced by a 13mm dynamic driver with beryllium diaphragm. Also among the guts there are 4 balanced armatures from Knowles. Unlike in 4001 model where every element lives in the front of the speaker, the double BA in these earphones is located directly in the nozzle. Earbuds have nice resistance to the background noise of the amplifier. Also there's 20 ohm impedance and 112 decibels of sound pressure. If to compare the new model with 3001, they have little in common. The bass here has all the flesh and bones. It definitely gives up the speed and aggression to pure armature headphones, playing more juicy instead and still somewhat punchy. I think their resolution is pretty enough for hybrid earbuds. Overall, lows are hyped more than mids, and it becomes clear as a day when you test these earphones on recordings with saturated bass. In electronic music, deep low frequencies are not bad at all, but I prefer 4001 in this regard, as sub-bass there was a bit more noticeable. Here's the tip. If you enjoy live instruments, low quality sub-bass won't be a pain in the butt. Mids turned out to be average clear, however quite significant in details, when 4001 makes a serious highlight on the mass, making the shape of the sound wave hippie. Here there is no such thing. The sounds come beautiful and melodic, new DUNU are live and natural, small details do not jump on the front, so if you need subtleties you better check some pure BA competitors, but keep in mind that 3001 Pro will leave behind many of them because of its expressiveness. The Soundstage has medium width, but I'm glad that like in DUNU's top headphones, the mids do not hide in shadows, therefore you do not need to use equalizer to look for them. Everything is perfectly audible as it is. Speaking of highs, DUNU did the same thing as Sony did with their IR M7, review link is in the description. In both cases you hear everything and nothing is biting your ears. The highs in DK-3001 Pro are noticeable up to 11 kHz. There's a slight hump between 5 and 6 kHz, but only the most sensitive highs hater will feel it. In general, this approach made the earphones to play fully rather than humming in your ear or wearing you out with oversaturated highs. They might be lacking of sparkling, so in some places the drum plates may seem to be a bit weaker, especially if you're used to something bright and sonorous. Otherwise, there is nothing special to complain about. There is no smearing or rustling, the sound is clear and relatively calm. The way how highs are represented is more similar to 4001 model than to 3001 2001, where they are rough and sharp. In result, the earphone sound dances between two flagships of the company, however without many flaws of both models. As for the source of the sound, these earphones are not that picky, but they will definitely show differences. For example, with this DUNU creature, the difference between a Basso DX150 in stock and AM-P4S is undeniable, but with cheaper earbuds you often need to search for it. Summarizing the stuff, this precious costs $500, which is almost a half of the price of DUNU's flagship, however bears the same awesome connector with changeable plugs, nice out-of-the-box accessory set and partially even better sound than in 4001 model. Turns out that the company the heck they did this for created a major opponent to the fresh product of their own. Previously I think we saw something like that only made by Xiaomi. Anyway, if I were DUNU's customer, I'd feel kinda a winner buying 3001 Pro. A winner who's just spent $500 on earphones. Yeah, but definitely on nice earphones, and it's still way better than one f***ing grand. If you like this video, then why not to support our channel by subscribing to it, hitting the like button and ringing the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching and cheers!